Welcome everyone to another episode of the Train Studio. I'm your host, Sean Morris. Today on the Christmas studio update, so Merry Christmas to all. Just thought I'd give you guys just an update of what's going on in the studio. Admittingly, not a lot of work today. Being Christmas Day, decided to take a day off. Work with the family and do all that sort of the festive stuff that's been going on. Eating turkey was my job today, so. Now that the turkey coma is starting to set in, I thought I'd come down to wake myself up and get a little bit of work done in studio. So, just talk a little bit about the project. So the big reveal was done last night to my brother-in-law, and he was explained the project was coming to him, and they started through the sequence of videos last night. So today he got up to date to 20. So he's very excited about the project. We had a little chat today, and he's really stoked about it. So that's great. It's kind of renewed me in my efforts to make sure I really get a good product out and make sure that he's really happy with the end result. Happy to report that thus far he thinks the project's going well. So that's great, and you guys have commented very similarly. That you've enjoyed the project. So without delaying, and certainly not making you guys miss any aspects of the project, I thought I'd give you just a rundown of what I'm working on this evening. So as I spoke to you before early in the project, I had done this little sample area about what I thought the finished sort of look would be, and it's just a black sort of matte finished edge that's very clean. And so tonight I give myself a break from the groundwork, of which I want to do this, and I'm going to talk about that briefly because there is a viewer response question that I really would like some feedback on this evening or late tonight. But in speaking about what's been going on with the sides and how to finish them off and make them really look good, because I'm getting to that point where I can start finishing off some edges, particularly this back edge and then the two board edges here. And really, I mean, I could finish them all realistically, just because I don't have any more edge work to do, minus the one section back here. But what does that look like, and how do I go about doing that? Well, it doesn't really look like it'd be really difficult, but in reality, the surface here is not straight line. It's not a straight line anywhere. There's a little bit of straight lines at the top edge here, but even those have some curvatures and some some unique cuts. So basically, I just want to show you guys what I'm doing, and this might give you some inspiration for how to finish your own dioramas or even a table edge. I was thinking in doing this, like I often just leave the board edges exposed on my tables, but I think this is a really nice finish, and I think it really gives a really clean look. So I think this is something I hope to employ in the future, because I'm kind of getting a feel for it, and I like the looks of it, and it's very inexpensive to do. Even the plastic card to do this is very cheap, and if you did just a flat edge, it'd be really simple. So as I said, when you get down to profile, the table, obviously you have some curvatures here, and this water, I actually wanted to leave that exposed. So let me focus in there. So that's something that I wanted to account for, and then I got some curvatures here, and then along the road, and it's just got some various undulations and different degrees of cuts to make and things like that. So in planning that out, what I do is I've just been taking some pen and paper. Sometimes that's the old methods, but the best methods. And so what I'm doing is I'm just profiling. I'm just taking pinpoint measurements at various dimensions and various points. So obviously here, here, and here, and then that gets translated onto the paper here. And then what I do is I go in and make the cuts with the paper, just using standard A4 or 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper. And then what I do is I check that on here. So check twice and then cut once. And then after I translate the paper here and I'm happy with that, I make the trims and the cuts and the various adjustments that I need to make. Then I translate that onto some plastic card, and I'm just using the 1/2 mil plastic card here, really thin, but seems to work quite well. And then I go ahead and cut that out. So this one's a pretty simplistic cut there, but one I had cut earlier this evening is a little more complex. So it's shown in profile there. You got some various cuts there. And then once that's done, and then once I cut the plastic card out, then basically it comes out looking like, should move that. It comes out looking like this. So here's the board edge in profile. Obviously this is the big blank area right there. And then the very subtle seams, so when that's painted black, that should help to hide some of that. And then the corners are going to be brought together And what I had got my friend to pick up for me was some plastic angle iron. So just a 90-degree fold here, and that will basically just go on the corner and secure those two seams together and really finish that edge off. Just give it a nice little clean look, and just you know, a little aesthetics for the outside piece. As I spoke before, this piece is visible from all angles, so I really wanted a way to finish that off. And obviously, you know, not to detract from the boards at all, but that's not very sightly for a diorama piece. You know, a game board, you can get away with that, no problem. But you know, a piece that's going to be really a showcase piece, and you know, kind of be something to speak about. It's a little unsightly to have that stuff. I mean, obviously that has function for magnetization and things, but we're not using that right now, so it can be covered. So that's kind of the thinking in that, and sort of the process. So you know, just taking a little bit of a break from having to work my brain too hard in terms of aesthetics and, you know, which tree and tuft's going to go where. Just I thought I'd, you know, use my brain for a little bit of math tonight and finish that off. So that's kind of where I'm at in terms of that. What else do I got to do? I got to think about this area here, and if you guys have thoughts about things to put in the fenced area, what do you want to see in there? I thought about a clothesline with some like clothes on it that the guys can kind of be sneaking through. I'm just not sure if that'll look good. I thought about, you know, some flower boxes, or maybe even a little garden patch, and you know, gardens are something I do a lot. So that's certainly something I could do. Be a great way to introduce some splash of color, because I could have some flowers and some crops and things in there. So that might be something to put in, and I could kind of have that you know, sort of going off the table, so it doesn't have to be a full garden by any means. So that's an option as well. So I'd like to hear about that. And the other viewer response I need is for the center of the road here. I got a couple options. Obviously, I'm going to trail away from the browns and get more into the greens. So the other side of the road is a little bit thinner, so it's not going to have as much transitional patch here. It's just going to have a smaller one. So I'm going to kind of transition that up onto the embankment. You know, a little bit of swampy area around the drain here. But the center of the road is where I have the most questions. So I was thinking some tufts and some sporadic patches of the grasswork. I don't want to do a solid line because I think it'd be too much. So I thought, you know, leaving some exposed dirt would be fine, some patches, some grass. But the other option is I can go nothing. I could go solid grass with tufts. I could go solid grass, no tufts. I could just do tufts, or the one that's kind of leading the way in my mind is a little bit of sporadic grass here and there, create the line with the tufts. So what do you guys think? I'd like to hear back from you on that. So basically that's where I'm at, guys. Hope to get some more videos up this evening. I am done this side. I'm about to finish this one, and I like to finish all the edges tonight. I like to at least get the pieces cut and, you know, sprayed, and then have that done. And by the way, once I finish this grass on the bottom, I'm going to be able to affix the bridge. So then we're locked in. That will be 100%, and then we'll basically have half the table finished. And by half the table, I really mean I have this section then left to do. So appreciate you guys staying tuned. Brother-in-law's been reading the comments, so you know, the more comments you're posting, the more he has to read. And obviously, I always appreciate the comments, and that really kind of drives the work that I'm doing. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Cheers.